Welcome to the 3 for 3 podcast. I am Paul Teach Nelson, joined by Alex, the pod father Gullet.
Yeah.
Along with you guys at home, we are 3 for 3, where we're cutting it up, checking out the hottest topics in sports and seeing if we can agree, we disagree. And again, as always, if you at home agree or disagree with us, to see if we can go 3 for 3.
It's always a mixed batch. Like, it's always like sometimes we agreed a lot last week.
We did agree a lot last week. And, I was looking at the comments, and a lot of the comments were like, hey, who's that baby face? I saw that. They thought this was a Cowboys podcast, which, listen, you guys steer the ship, right? We only talk about what's hot.
Stop taking shots at me. You know what I mean? Like, that's all that's happening.
Now, speaking of shots, let's go ahead and start off with, like we usually do, with our, 3 and out, right? So 3 quick hitting topics. The first one, again, surprise, surprise, let's go with Cowboys, right? Zach Martin, okay? So I'm going to read a statement. Let me know you agree or disagree, right?
Do it.
So Zach Martin got paid the money that should have went to Ezekiel Elliott. Agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think Zach Martin got paid the money that he probably deserves. We went over it a couple of weeks ago. Check it out. I think it was 3 episodes ago. Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. That narrative is hilarious, though. I mean, listen, he got a little bit of pay bump. Awesome. Great for him. Great for the Cowboys. Good building.
I think somebody's going to have something to talk about. That's what it is. And Cowboys are always something to talk about.
Listen, along with the Cowboys being something to talk about, everybody wants to talk about Patriots. Comeback season, apparently. The 1-5 is going to New England. Ezekiel Elliott is the missing piece for New England to actually be relevant. Agree or disagree?
Disagree. Totally disagree. Zeke is past his best football. I wish him the best. I think the Patriots have an offensive problem, not a running back problem.
No, they don't have Ramondre Stevenson is a dope back. He is awesome.
Well, I saw a post that said, does Ezekiel Elliott going to the Patriots make him and Ramondre Stevenson the best 1-2 punch in the NFL? And I was like, Dalvin Cook, Breece Hall now?
Which brings us to our third one, right? Third down. What are we doing? Yeah, we're signing a running back for $8.6 million. Dalvin Cook. Okay, so the statement, really quick. Do the Jets win the AFC East now that they have Dalvin Cook?
Look, I know you follow the AFC East. I know you're a Buffalo Bills fan. If I were a Bills fan, I would be supremely worried right now about the New York Jets. The rich get richer. It just goes to show. So they ended up getting Salah. They hit a home run with Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Then Aaron Rodgers, unhappy in Green Bay, what's he do? He's like, hey, I'll go to New York for a couple of years to end my career. And then because they have Aaron Rodgers, they end up getting a couple wide receivers he's familiar with, right? And now they're going to get Dalvin Cook. The defense is already good. So I think they win the AFC East. I disagree with that statement. I don't think they win the AFC East. I still put that either the Dolphins or the Bills. But that's a tough division. It may be better than the NFC East.
Yeah, I disagree. I think, if anything, you just pissed off Breece Hall, who I get he's coming back off an injury. I understand that. But listen, the infighting happens in teams. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a great season for the Jersey Jets. And it's just what it is. I think you made it an unhappy situation even unhappy.
Have you seen his and Sauce Gardner's handshake?
Yes.
Did you see it? Do you want to do it?
No. I don't want to do anything that Aaron Rodgers is doing, including ayahuasca.
You don't want to sit in a dark room with me and make the Sauce Gardner handshake?
I do not want to do that. Now, listen.
Hey, it was worth a shot, guys.
With that conversation, we just hit a first down. So we got 3 more for a fresh set of 3 and out. Listen, we had week 1 preseason. A lot of your predictions look like they're going to hold up. So go back, check those out. Check his older predictions for the season. These are things that are actually going to happen. So agree or disagree with the following statement. Stetson Bennett was the best thing to happen preseason 1.
Before O'Connell played in Las Vegas, maybe. But you know what? Bennett, what a great story. Going to the Rams. We talked about it weeks ago, months ago. Hey, this kid's going to be in the NFL, and he plays football the right way. Can't wait to see him on the field, get a chance to play. I think it's going to be great. But I'm going to disagree with that through week 1. So how it is.
Yeah, I disagree as well. And I'm going to go sentimental. Damar Hamlin playing football. Damar Hamlin going out there, not just like, hey, he's there for the coin toss. He's doing like him actually playing football, hitting folks, getting up. That was the best thing from preseason.
And that's an amazing story. But did you see Deuce Vaughn?
Yes.
Did anybody see Deuce Vaughn?
He runs like a toddler stole the phone, right? He runs like a toddler stole the phone.
Yes, and it looks like my kid running with a fork in her hand. I love it.
Now that Stenson Bennett isn't the only young quarterback, rookie quarterback who is experiencing NFL for the first time. So the next one, the Texans and Panthers are immediately regretting their decision at quarterback. Agree or disagree?
It's a great story. I love the statement. I want to say agree so bad. I'm going to say disagree just because I think it's week 1 in preseason and they're young. But I'm not going to say that Anthony Richardson didn't look better than those guys. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know.
I know Anthony Richardson looked bigger than those guys. I don't know that he looked better. Listen, we all know what preseason is. All right, it's overreaction season. That's fine. We've missed football. That's all it is. I'm going to disagree with that statement. They are not going to be upset with their quarterback.
I agree.
Listen, there's a lot of underdogs also coming out. Malik Cunningham looked good for New England. Again, we talked about Stenson Bennett. We'll see really what happens preseason week 3. The last one, streaking. We're going streaking through the quad to the gymnasium. Okay, let's get some food. Okay, I'm hungry. Anybody else hungry? Let's go with
Angry.
The Ravens preseason win streak at 24 wins is underrated. Agree or disagree?
I'm going to say agree because it's still a crazy streak, right? 24-0, but it's not translated to anything. And listen, I saw a clip of Lamar Jackson throw the ball to Odell Beckham. Everybody's like, oh, they're building chemistry. The ball was 10 years underthrown, and Odell Beckham had to slow down and jump backwards to catch the ball. Yeah. All right, Baltimore. We'll see what happens.
Listen, who had the streak before? I don't know. Does anybody know? Who cares? It's preseason doesn't matter. Speaking as a Buffalo Bills fan, where we went 3-1, and I had to hear for years, like, hey, Bills went undefeated in preseason. This is the time. Dad used to always call. We would break everything down, and all of a sudden, here we go. It's another 7-9 season for the Bills. Awesome, great. It's pathetic. And before you trolls start being like, oh, there's 17. No, this is back when there was 16 games, right?
That's right.
Back in the day. Okay, so
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's back in the day of some of these kids. Trust me, that's back in the day. Now we are going to punt on the preseason and move on. This is the fantasy football episode. So we are here for all the fantasy football news. Listen, I'm a novice. I'm a fantasy football novice. I've only been playing seriously for about 2 years. Okay. And when I say seriously, I mean, listen, last year I was part of the league.
You were.
And I just happened to join at the right time. And I am here to gain knowledge under the man, the myth, the legend, the champion, Podfather Alex Gullett, the champion of the league.
I've been in the chat for 3 weeks now asking everybody to call me champ, and nobody will. And I'm going to say it's a little hurtful, but you did join the league.
I did.
And it's a great league. This league's been running for 15 years with a group of us. It's a 10-man league, so it's fun. 12's a little much. 8's a little easy. 10 is just the perfect amount on a league that I believe. And so we're going to have a good time this year, too.
Yeah, I'm excited. Listen, for those out there who are in the same situation I was in last year, just joining the Friends League, what's your biggest piece of fantasy advice to give them?
Fantasy advice is don't overthink. It is what it is, right? And so, don't try to make a grab and picks 1 through 4, right? Grab your guys that you know are gonna produce, right, and keep it moving. I have a few little secrets that I do use. If I can't get a clear number 1 running back, I make sure I grab 2 really good wide receivers before I draft the running back. That'll put my running back at round 3 instead of round 1 or 2. It's not like I can go I'm not going to go Tyreek Hill and then Tony Pollard. You know what I mean? I'm going to go Tyreek Hill and then T. Higgins, something like that. Get 2 solid wide receivers. I'll fill in the back end on a running back and then play the waiver wire mid-season, right? But yeah, it's lots of fun.
It's not. I mean, you talk about it, you make it look simple. It is not. I was up many a times last year going, do I swing this deal? I'm trying to trade somebody. And I was just getting heckled all day long. Why are you taking Josh Allen right there? What are you doing? Why are you're doubling up on running backs before you take? Listen, I learned a lot last year. I still ended up 3rd. Hey, that's respectable.
And the key is this, right? So I put the pressure on everybody else. I take it off myself. I'll put in the chat, hey, 30 minutes before I trade him, best deal gets this player in 30. When I figured out that I want to move off of a player, that's exactly what I do. I think you witnessed
That was my favorite. And my favorite was it was a Friday night. It was a football game I had at my high school, right? And he said, Friday, 7 p.m. is the trade deadline. Send me your best offers. And I'm sure you got like 8 of them. And then the private conversations, everybody going, hey, what do you think he's giving up? What are you giving up?
And there's so many sidebar undercuts coming from everybody else in the league where it's like, hey,
so good.
Don't talk to him. He's going to send you a crappy trade. And they're trying to like
cancel the trade. You're the commissioner. Cancel the trade.
The best
thing. It is.
I love fantasy football.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give our fantasy rankings. So I'm going to give my novice fantasy rankings, and then you're going to tell me who I should have picked as the top 5 as Podfather's predictions. And then you're going to give everybody a sleeper, right?
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through top 5. We're going to go through your top 5, my top 5, each position. We play a standard PPR league. We play a defensive team, not defensive players. We're usually in a 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, a flex, quarterback. We may change it to 2 quarterbacks this year. I haven't made up my mind yet, just because 10-man league, 30
super flex action.
Maybe, I don't know. We're going to see. We'll make it interesting, but we're going to draft standard league. We're going to talk standard league right now. So 5, your best 5, my best 5, and then we'll throw a sleeper.
Awesome. Maybe 2 kicker league.
It could be
a super kicker league.
It could be because Dallas may need a second kicker on the roster.
Listen, Dallas, Atlanta, and San Diego, right? Oh wait, L.A.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's start with kickers, right? We'll start with kickers. I'm gonna go super quick here. So I have Justin Tucker from Baltimore, Harrison Butker from Kansas City, McPherson from Cincinnati, All About That Bass from Buffalo, and Elliott from Philadelphia. What'd I get wrong?
Elliott from Philadelphia. No, I don't think you got anything wrong. I think kickers are kickers, right? So you're looking at the highest scoring teams in the NFL. I think they're pretty blatantly like who they are. We can look at the NFL and say, hey, Kansas City's probably going to score points.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's going to get in the red zone. They're going to be in the position to score points. Philadelphia, same thing. I don't like Philly much. I don't like them as much because that 1 yard play.
Yeah.
They're not kicking it as much as other teams.
No.
I think they had like one of the top go for it on 4th down things. And a lot of people don't think about that when selecting a kicker. You need to look at that. Which team, which coaches go for it 3 yards and under on 4th down? McCarthy's he's famous for that. Make it or break it. He's going to go for it. You know what I mean? So I look at that stuff. But my 5 weren't that different. My 5 on the kickers, of course, Tucker's number 1. He kicks 70-yard field goal every year. So you get your 10 points in your league.
You got to overdraft Tucker.
You have to overdraft Tucker.
Round 7 this year. Tucker coming for it.
No, don't do that. And so then we're going to go McPherson in Cincinnati. Elliott, I did throw in there in Philadelphia. They score points, right? Butker in Kansas City. And that I do like Bass and Buffalo. I think Josh Allen put Buffalo in a position to score points. So our 5 are none different. I have them ranked a little slightly different. My sleeper. I'm going to give you my sleeper.
Okay.
For kicker. McManus out of Jacksonville. Now, if you've watched the show for the last couple of weeks, you're going to know I'm high on Jacksonville.
Super hot on Jacksonville.
I'm high on Trevor Lawrence. I'm high on Calvin Ridley. That means I'm high on this offense.
Yep.
ETN's going to be a year better.
Yes.
Christian Kirk outperformed who I thought he was the wide receiver last year. Now you're throwing Calvin Ridley in there. Yeah. Ingram's going to be the middle of the field's going to be more open now. Yeah. I mean, if you trade DJ Chark for Calvin Ridley, you've made it up there, right?
Absolutely.
And so I love what Jacksonville's doing on that end. So I'm big on Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning head coach, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going to go there. I'm putting Manus as my sleeper pick.
Awesome. I had as my sleeper Riley Patterson, Detroit. Just what you've said before is, hey, go for a team that's going to score points. And we know Detroit's going to score points. So.
And Dan Campbell's more on the what's the word?
Crazy is what you're looking for.
Yeah, but Dan Campbell's more reserved in terms of old-fashioned football. So 4th and 3 is going to take a field.
I'm going to get the points.
Get points. He's all about getting points.
Now, again, let's go over some defenses, right? Try and keep points off the board. So my 5, again, the novice. I went San Fran, Dallas, Philly, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh. So what'd I get wrong?
Yeah, no, I love it. I think I like what you have. I have the Steelers surprisingly also. Pretty high. And so I don't like you had 49ers in front of Dallas, but I'm going to let that live. Because remember what we score points on in fantasy, right?
Sure.
So we're looking at yards given up. Yep. We're looking at turnovers, points scored on given up, points scored on defensive end, minus yards minus yardage plays, that kind of stuff. And so we want to make sure we're getting defense that can get after the quarterback.
Yes.
Create turnovers. Who's the best in the NFL at that?
That's
the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay? Bosa and Parsons this year.
But Dallas Cowboys led the league 2 years in a row.
Absolutely.
They could be the first team this year to lead the league in a row, 3 years in a row in turnover if they do it this year. And I love their chances. You're not high on Gilmore, but I told you we were going to have Stephon Diggs, and now we do.
No,
We have Stephon Gilmore and Trevon Diggs.
Trayvon Diggs scores as many touchdowns as some wide receivers.
Absolutely.
So that's
Yeah.
going there.
And so on my 5, I had Cowboys ranked number 1.
Okay.
I had Philly at number 2. I love the addition of Jalen Carter. I love Nolan Smith off that back end. They kept Slay. And so I love what Philly did. I have the 49ers at 3, only because I think the defense is going to spend a little more time on the field this year.
Okay.
What happens when defenses spend more time on the field?
Yes.
They get gassed, right?
Yes.
So they give up some points. I have the Steelers too. I believe in Tomlin. I just believe in Mike Tomlin.
How can you not?
And then I had the Jets at number 5.
I hate you.
Yeah, I had to put
I
the
hate
Jets
you
at
so
number,
much right now.
but I had to put the Jets at number 5. I'm going to go ahead, and that's because I love what they're doing on offense.
Okay.
And I didn't have them at number 5 until today when I saw Dalvin Cook sign. And I said, wait, now they got a 2-headed monster. I'm going to move them from 7. I moved them from my 7th ranking to 5th ranking.
Sustained drives on offense leads to a fresh defense.
That's right. Dude.
No.
Could you imagine a healthy Breece Hall and a healthy Dalvin Cook?
I don't want to imagine it as a Bills fan, but yeah.
No,
it's
you
gonna
should.
be bad.
It's going to be bad.
You shouldn't have wore this
news.
green hat. I feel like this is bad. This is bad on my part. This is poor planning by me.
Yeah, not good for you. Sleeper
Okay.
pick. Listen, probably before last year was the best defensive player in football. I'm not talking Aaron Donald. I'm talking Myles Garrett. My
Oh,
sleeper pick on
okay.
defense. I'm going to go Cleveland.
Wow.
I believe they're going to be able to create some turnover this year. They get after the quarterback.
Okay.
They do, and they've added some good additions on defense this year. So I really like what Cleveland Browns did on defense. They're going to be my sleeper pick. I think they may slide in the top 5 before the end of the year.
I love that. Now, see, I went a little different. I went New Orleans for my sleeper pick just because that is a dog crap division.
Yeah, no.
So Atlanta, Tampa Bay.
They got 6 games that are going to be
right.
stupid
Carolina. So it doesn't worry you about the Browns. I mean, they're the same with a rejuvenated Pittsburgh who should look better, Baltimore who should look better, and Cincinnati who always scores points. That doesn't scare you?
No, it doesn't scare me that much because I think they can get up to the quarterback.
Gotcha.
And so I think, and plus division games are already going to be tough.
Yeah.
Now, I love your pick because what do young quarterbacks do?
Throw interceptions.
Throw
and
interceptions, take
Yeah.
sacks. And so great pick by you also. Love
Thanks.
that.
Appreciate it. Listen, I'm learning.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a reason I'm seated at the right
You guys
hand
take
of
notes.
the pod father.
This
okay?
is good stuff. Take notes. You could win your football league off watching this episode.
Listen, let's go to tight ends. All right. Tight ends. So I have the following: Travis Kelce, then a huge gap.
Massive.
Okay. Grand Canyon. Then I have Mark Andrews, TJ Hawkinson, Darren Waller. And you're going to hate this. Kyle Pitts. I have Kyle Pitts 5th.
I think so many people did last year, and it lost them the league.
I talked myself into Kyle Pitts 5th. I don't know. I can't quit
So
him.
I want you to get up. I want you to text coach when we're done. Ask him how Kyle Pitts worked out for him.
I know how it worked out for him.
Yeah, you watched it. You were
I think I traded him, Kyle Pitts.
I think you
Maybe.
did too.
So
And so, not a bad 5. I don't agree with Kyle Pitts, but I'm going to go ahead and give you my 5. Okay.
Yep.
My 5 is I have Kelce at 1.
Yeah.
I like Hawkinson at 2.
Okay.
I love Hawkinson at 2 because I think once you take away the Dalvin Cook running back, he's going to be You're going to see them throwing the ball on 4th and 4,
Cousins.
3rd and 4, 3rd and 3.
Yeah. Cousins loved him last year.
He did.
I mean, to trust a player who just got traded to your team, that's huge. So
And
Cousins loved him.
And now without Dalvin Cook as the top 10 NFL running back, now you move Cook out. What are they going to do on those 3rd and 3 situations? What are they going to do on those 3rd and 4 situations, right?
Herb Smith is gone.
Yeah, that's right. So you're going to see Hawkinson get a lot more play in the middle of the field. So I put Hawkinson at 2. After that, I put Waller. Love Waller in New York. I think he opens up the middle for Daniel Jones. And who else did you have to throw the ball?
Nobody. Got
Nobody.
Isaiah Hodgson.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. Throw the ball to Darren Waller, Daniel Jones. That made ground. Okay. After that, I got George Kittle. I'm going Old Faithful.
Yeah.
I mean, Kittle's going to break. He's going to have a 20-yard, 30-yard gain. 10 out of the 17 games they're going to play. He's going to score 8 to 10 touchdowns. He's going to be that guy. You're right. And so he belongs in the top 5. And then last, what I had on my list, I went with Mark Andrews. Now listen, here's what I'll say about Andrews. New offensive coordinator.
Yep.
But you bring in OBJ.
Yep.
You drafted Flowers.
Yeah, say Flowers.
Right? So they drafted Flowers. They went and got OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to try? Is Lamar Jackson going to try to prove that he can throw outside the numbers?
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I hope he doesn't have that on him because I saw the throw at practice today against the Commanders or Commanders Ravens practice, and so
Pre-fight.
pre-fight that was pre-fight, right? And so we'll see. But I got him fifth just because he's been there for 10 years.
It's hard. Listen, Kittle, I had trouble with just because of targets.
Yeah.
But who's your sleeper?
So here's my sleeper. I'm going to give you my sleeper. Don't go crazy on it, but I want to tell you why. Okay, so this tight end was targeted 30 times last year when Deshaun Watson played. So
Okay.
30 times in 5 games, that's 6 targets a game when Deshaun Watson was first coming back. Now they lost the second tight end.
Yep.
Right? Replaced him with a younger guy, but in joke.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if Deshaun Watson rounds in the front and you got Cooper running around from the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Joker can have plenty of room.
It's a good call.
Plenty of room. So he could be. He slid in last year.
Yeah, he won some. He won
finished
some.
high
Yeah.
last year. Finished high last year. I like him again this year. Hey, don't rush to go get it. If you're going to draft Kelsey, I think Kelsey's the only one that's due in the first round.
Yeah.
Right?
8 to 12. Yeah.
I like Kelsey anywhere from
Yeah.
6 to 9.
Yep.
If you can grab him. But I do like Njoku if you wait till round 3, grab a tight end round 4.
Yeah, sleeper. I went Gerald Everett. Again, Chargers. I think if you look at your former boy, Kellen Moore, he loves the tight end. So go ahead. Moore loves the tight end. Shockingly, all right.
Another one that I see on everybody. You can look on Roto. You can look anywhere. Conklin out of Tennessee.
Yes.
So he's huge. He right now he's really jumping. He's climbing up the board right now.
Yeah,
a whole lot.
And like you said, I think it's what I learned last year was it's Travis Kelce, and then you better wait.
It's Kelsey and
Just
everybody else. Just wait because tight ends are going to fall. You're going to be able to get tight ends in the later round.
Now, interesting this year, running backs. I think running backs, everywhere there seems to be more two running back backfields in the NFL than we've ever seen before.
Just added one today.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me go over my top 5. So my top 5, you got Christian McCaffrey, of course, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, and I have Derrick Henry. I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, are those the 5? Did I miss out on anything?
Yeah, I think you missed out on Bijan Robinson. I pushed Henry out and added Bijan just because I love his versatility. In Atlanta, Arthur Smith is he's gonna run the ball and throw to running backs, and the young quarterback's gonna do the same. He's gonna be a safety valve. Derrick Henry last year coming back off the injury looked a tad bit slower. He's still a big guy. He's still going to be a good running back. I'm not knocking Derrick Henry whatsoever, but I think in terms of PPR drafting and fantasy football, you're going to see the running back type like Derrick Henry take a small step back, especially coming off an injured wave.
I think he was still top 4 even with all the weeks missed.
Mm-hmm.
So Father Time beats everybody, right? So it's creeping up. I hate Bijan Robinson. I hate that. Not personally. I hate the idea of Bijan Robinson because I liked Tyler Algier. I liked Cordero Patterson. I just worry that
I don't think
he's gonna
Algier
perform.
I don't think Algier takes a back seat.
No,
I think it's shared. You know what I mean? And so, but Bijan Robinson, he's probably the best running back draft prospect since Saquon came out. We remember the hype in Saquon.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, he just so overhyped. I just think Bijan is overhyped. We'll see. Listen, I'm the novice. We're going to see. You're the Popeye. You're the champ.
I'm sold on him. I'm totally sold on Bijan Robinson. I'll give you my 5 really quick. So I have McCaffrey at number 1. He's a solid RB1. I got Nick Chubb at 2. I think he sees more receiving duties with Kareem Hunt being moved out of Cleveland. So I think Nick Chubb's you're going to see a little more out of Nick Chubb than that. And he's the best running back in football. Like in pure running back, hand the ball to him and let something happen. There's not a running back like Nick Chubb. He's just that guy. Saquon Barkley, I got at number 3. I kept Austin Eckler at number 4 because I think Kellen Moore, he is a good offensive coordinator. I'm glad he's not in Dallas any longer, but he is a good offensive coordinator. Just very predictable. Absolutely. And maybe the Chargers pull that out of him. I'm not sure. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's Tony Pollard, right?
Yeah.
He's a different version of Tony Pollard. Yeah. I think Austin Eckler is a super version of Tony Pollard, or the Tony Pollard that we're going to see this year without.
Maybe, yeah. And then I rounded it out with Bijan Robinson. And so, but my sleeper, I've got a sleeper for you. And listen, you guys are going to learn. If you want to win your league, you have to draft in the later rounds the running back that's backing up the often injured running back. Okay. And so my sleeper pick at running back, I have two actually.
Okay.
But Rashad Penny, Philadelphia. If DeAndre Swift is to go down, Rashad Penny, we saw that he can produce in Seattle.
Yeah.
Philly's a better team in Seattle. They're a better offense in Seattle. They have a better offensive line in Seattle, and they're a better defense in Seattle.
Kenny Gainwell's small too, so he might get injured as well.
You know what I mean? And so, but I like Rashad Penny as just a dark horse, really big sleeper. And then of course I think my boy Tony Pollard. I think right now I have him ranked at 7 or 8, running back 7 or 8. He could be a top 5 running back for the end of the year.
Yeah, I have soaked up enough advice from you over the last 18 months. My sleeper pick was Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Miami. Like, hey, if he is the last pick, if he is round 13 for you before you go defense and kicker, right? Hey, why not? Things are crazy in Miami. He could end up being the starter for 3 games.
And Mostert's good for a 70 or 80 yarder. Twice a year.
All the time,
Once or twice a year.
All the time. So let's go to from running backs to pass catchers, wide receivers.
I know you were top 5. Cooper, Kupp, Cooper, Kupp.
No, see, I have Justin Jefferson 1, and then I have Cooper Kupp 2nd. So you're a little behind. Then I have Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and Stephon Diggs. This was the hardest one for me.
That's not bad. I don't like Cooper Kupp that high.
Okay.
With Stafford coming up injury, with Kupp coming up injury. What's their running game going to be this year?
Todd Gurley comeback?
Who knows?
I don't know.
I mean, Akers didn't get it done last year.
No.
What's going to happen this year? I'm not really sure. I don't like Cooper that high. He's a fantastic runner. And I hope I don't think it's going to run. But you know what? Him going back to form is leading the league by 100 points in fantasy football.
Right.
And so maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't have him at number 2.
So who's your 5?
So I'm going to give you my 5. I have Justin Jefferson at number 1. I have Jamar Chase at number 2.
Okay.
At number 3, I have Garrett Wilson. At number 4, I put Tyreek Hill. At number 5, I have Devontae Adams. I have Kupp running at 6. That's just where I'm at with it. And then, of course, you have like Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys kind of rounding out the top 10.
Yeah.
But
I almost think there's like a 7 or 8 man rotation that if you put them in the top 5, I'm not mad at it.
I'm probably the only person in America that has Garrett Wilson top 5 right now.
I think you are.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, I've seen his practices. I've been watching them closely with Aaron Rodgers. That guy looks tremendous. And do you know why I like him so much? Who's the best cornerback in the NFL?
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. This guy's going one-on-one with Sauce Gardner every day in practice. You know what they're saying?
Iron sharpened iron? I don't know.
He's beating Sauce Gardner a whole lot.
Yeah.
He's shifty. He's fast. Great hands. I didn't believe in him out of Ohio State. I've talked about him last year. I was like, I don't like this kid. And you guys are like, just watch. He's amazing. And so
I don't think he's the best Ohio State. Listen, I like Chris Olave out of New Orleans. He's better than Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson, I think, is a better NFL wide receiver.
I mean, you guys let us know in the comments. Who do you think is going to have a better career, Chris Olave or Garrett Wilson?
That's a great question.
That's what I do.
I'm going Garrett Wilson.
I'm going Chris Olave. So
yeah. We're guys 3 for 3 on this. We can't go 3 for 3, but you guys can break the tie.
Break the tie in the comments.
Yeah,
please
sure.
break the tie in the comments. Who's your sleeper?
All right, so my sleeper, I'm so high on Jacksonville. My sleeper is Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley, right now, he's projected to go anywhere from 35 to 45. I've seen him all over the board. Pick number 35 to 45. To me, that's crazy.
Round 4 or 5?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're talking like 20.
Well, they're talking late round, 3rd round into almost round 5, right? And so, in a 10-man league. And so
20th wide receiver, 23rd wide receiver off the
20
board.
wide receiver.
Wow.
Yeah, 18, 19, 20. And so when I look at that, I'm like, all right, when I define a sleeper who can creep into the top 10 that wasn't supposed to be near the top 10, Calvin Ridley's that guy. I'm telling you, I mentioned it last week in the podcast. Have you seen him running routes in practice? And you're like, well, he's running against air. But the kid looks crisp. He looks crisp.
Professional athlete. I would hope so. Like, who's falling on their face during the preseason? We're not professional athletes anymore.
Yeah.
Anymore. We're not professional athletes. So I went along the line of for sleeper Odell Beckham. And just I thought about what you would say. And yep, who's going to be in the top 10, 15? Where can you get him? I think Odell is slated in the 70s or 80s in terms of ADP. And you go, oh, okay, so could he have an instant bromance with Lamar Jackson, and all of a sudden we get an 85 catch, 1,100 yard season with 7 touchdowns? Yeah, and I think that puts him up there, top 15.
I think Zay Flowers is the best receiver in that group.
I disagree. I think Mark Andrews might be the best receiver, but that's according to Bill Polian. Hey, Lamar Jackson might be the best wide receiver on that team.
Definitely the best running back on that team.
Yeah, let's go ahead to quarterback.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that was wild, right? Quarterbacks. So here's who I have, okay? And I am biased. Pat Mahomes, then Josh Allen, then Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and Joe Cool himself, Joe Burrow.
Wow. And that's not a bad five. It doesn't match my five,
Okay.
but it's not a bad five. I think all those guys are going to fall within five. They should. Every one of those guys, you're going to get a top 8 quarterback. The difference between winning and losing the league is not having a top 8 quarterback, top 3 quarterback. To throw with a top 3 wide receiver, top 5 running back, you know what I'm saying? And so what I'm looking at, my list is going to go like this. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, by far going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. Always. I do have Josh Allen too. I had
For
Josh,
fantasy.
yeah. In one of my leagues, I wrote Josh Allen to the championship. You know what I mean?
Your top 10 running back.
He's a top 10 running back. And so,
top 2 quarterback, top 10 running back, Josh Allen.
and then that's kind of where my list goes.
Okay.
Which guys are going to move the ball with their feet and their arm? Which guys are going to throw for 150 and run for 100? Which guys are going to throw for 25 touchdowns and rush for 10? That's kind of where I went. So I have Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Justin Fields rounding up my top 5. Justin Fields is a fantasy guru. Like
he's gonna win some leagues. He might lose some.
He might lose some leagues, and some people enjoy him way too early. But I think top 5, there's a real chance Justin Fields lands in the top 5 and 4.
Yeah. Listen, I know it really hurts you to pick Jalen Hurts today.
It doesn't, because I'll never draft him.
You go, hey, you know what? The Eagles can go 3-14 this year, and he can be the number 1 quarterback.
Yeah, all he want. Or they can go 17-0, and somebody else can have him on their team and lose fantasy football. I don't care. So whatever it is.
Who do you think people are sleeping on?
I think people are sleeping on Dak Prescott.
Wow.
Yeah, Dakota Rain Prescott. Here's why. Okay. So Dakota Rain Prescott.
Always with him.
Here's why. He was a top, 7 quarterback a couple of years ago, 8 quarterback, I can't remember exactly. A couple of years ago when we had Cedric Wilson, we had Michael Gallup, we had Amari Cooper, and CeeDee Lamb. Then Dak took the injury. Gallup got hurt. Dak got hurt. We lost Amari Cooper. We've been rebuilt. This year, Michael Gallup, another year removed off the ACL. If he's going to be back to the Michael Gallup that we. Then you're going to have CeeDee Lamb, who's the true number 1 wide receiver now in the NFL.
Yes.
He showed it last year. He's going to be better coming off another offseason. Yeah. He's going to be another year older, another year mature. He can be a better football player. Then you throw in a guy who just, 8 years in a row, 1,200 different teams, gets 1,000 yards a year. Brandon Cooks, who can still stretch the field. And what's one thing people said Dallas lacked on offense? Deep ball. Deep ball. Somebody, when Gallup was hurt, we didn't have anybody that can stretch and go over the top of the field.
Noah Brown wasn't doing it.
Noah Brown was not going to do it. We didn't have that guy. No. It's been a couple of years removed since we had that guy. So you throw that guy in the mix. I think Dak Prescott could easily throw 35, 40 touchdowns this year, and I wouldn't believe in it.
If he does, I know you are going to be horrible to film with. It's going to be terrible because this is going to turn from 3 for 3. It's going to be like 3 for the star.
No,
and it might do that.
We may change our logo to 3 stars and a Dallas helmet.
Yeah, we could be.
It could be.
My sleeper pick was Kenny Pickett. Kenny Two Gloves. If Pittsburgh has the type of season I think they're going to have, I think he's a guy who can beat you athletically with his legs. Listen, he's gritty and sneaky athletic.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. We all know what that means.
We do.
So he's no Daniel Jones. He's probably a little bit better. And I just think weapons. He has tons of weapons.
Listen, and here's where I'm going to solidify what we're talking about. Because on my notes, I have George Pickens as one of my sleeper picks. I had to distinguish between him and 2 other players. I went with Calvin Ridley, but Pickens was one of the guys that I was like,
They still have Deontay Johnson.
But I think Johnson was one of those guys that Trevon Diggs had more points. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. Last year, and Najee Harris maybe comeback season. That defense has got to be better. And like you said, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Tomlin.
TJ Watt's coming.
Yes. I mean, listen, Pittsburgh, it should be fun. All you Steelers fans out there, which you guys are everywhere, right? There's always Steeler fans, Cowboy fans.
And who do you think is the best safety in football? You think it's Fitzpatrick? Is it Minka?
I think it might be. I think he's in the conversation.
They could be good.
They're going to be above 500. I can guarantee you that.
Well, we know that.
That's a bet.
Until Tomlin's gone, they're going to be 500.
Well, we went through all the rankings. All right. So go back, check those out. Let us know where you agree, disagree. Let us know in the comments. Let's go ahead and bring this thought exercise into fruition, right? We're going to do
Let's do it.
2-round mock draft, the novice versus the champ. You'll see where I get it wrong and where he gets it right. We'll take a break between rounds 1 and 2. Again, this is your common snake draft. I'm going to pick first because it's the easiest pick, in my opinion. And then we're going to have some fun.
No, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So what you guys are going to see on your screen, we got a little mock set up here. Super simple, just a little mock. You can find it on the website. Website's up top in the bar. So you guys can play around with this also. But we thought it would be a good exercise to kind of get with you guys and go through we're just going to do 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, just 2 rounds.
We're going to do 2 rounds. And we've got it right now. We're going to populate it by ADP. And then we're going to go ahead with the draft. And I'm going to give you the number 1 pick of the draft. You make the hard choice.
Yeah.
You go running back or wide receiver. I don't know.
Listen, I'm going to go Justin Jefferson. If I know anything, I know that I don't think the Vikings are going to be good. And Justin Jefferson's going to catch like 110 balls.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think Justin Jefferson is number 1. With number 2, I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to go running back at number 2. I wanted to go Jamar Chase. You saw them all sleeping down there. I didn't do it, but I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey.
If I have the 3rd pick in the draft.
Well, 3rd team.
Yeah, 3rd team in the draft.
Yeah, so you're starting out.
If I'm looking at the board, I'm probably going Eckler just because I think running backs are going to go quickly. I better pick up one now, and I think I can get wide receiver in round 2.
Okay, awesome. So you went Eckler. With the 4th team, of course, with this being where it is, I'm going to get Jamar Chase. I think he's clear consensus. That's where I have to go. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so if I'm picking 5,
team 5.
Listen, I'm going to overdraft him because there's such a huge gap. I'm going Kelsey. I'm going Travis Kelce. I'm going 5th with Travis Kelce, thinking I can make up for stuff later.
That's wild. That's complete.
Again, this is a novice pick. I'm just going with my gut, buddy.
Okay, so I'm going to go with the next team. We're going to go Tyreek Hill. Cleared number 1 pick there. This is where it's going to get interesting. You see people start jumping all over the board. Okay, so going into the 6th pick.
Again, pick 7. This is team number 7.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to go Cooper Kupp. I know he's coming off injury. I still think this is chalk. It's ending up chalk. I think that's where we're going.
All right, for the first pick for the next team, I'm going to say Saquon Barkley with the first pick with team number 8.
All right, sweet. Team number 9. Listen, I'm going to keep up with my running backs go really quickly. I'm not going to pick who you think I am. I'm going to go Nick Chubb. I'm expecting big things out of Nick Chubb this year.
That's a really good pick. And then for pick 10, I'm going to go first pick, round 1, pick 10. I'm going to go ahead and throw in Patrick Mahomes, QB1.
Wow.
First round.
Wow.
Pick 10. And so let's take a minute really quick. I want to just go over this. It's a bit of a draft board. Let's look at what round 1 looked like on our team. So remember, this is a 10-team league, right? And so each of these is the first pick for each team. Now, this is automatically named. We didn't come up with these names ourselves. Of course, your team is going to be the number 1 pick, which is called your team. It's over there. Check out my Diggs' team, too. Winsylvania, sorry, Carson, you don't play any longer. The Brady Bunch, again, not longer in the league. Still a great name. 4th and Lynch's. I think I like that. Deshaun of the Dead. We're going to see if he can rise from the dead this year. I like that name. Zeke and Destroy. That's a great name. Garoppolops Now. That's a really good name. Riding in my Lambeau Field. That's super good. And Dak in the Box.
Dak in the Box.
Yeah, Dak in the Box.
All right, so looking at these teams really quick, who would have overreached in your opinion?
I don't think anything here. Of course, it's in round 1, and we took top 13 players in the draft. So I don't think any of them are a really big overreach. The one that I would be most skeptical about, Deacon Destroy taking Cooper Cup. I worry about that being the number one pick if he's not healthy. Travis Kelce, I don't mind that pick. I mean, he's by far the number one pick. So I think everything here is good. Eckler at third, I think is a little high, but
I mean, just looking at 4 running backs taken in the first round. Is this because of the 2 running back, backfield now everywhere? So you want to find a main guy, find them early.
Yeah.
And how deep the league is with wide receivers.
Yeah, so I think you had the four wide receivers that everybody talks about: Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Cooper Kupp, right? So Jefferson, Chase, Tyreek Hill, they're top 3. So you can look at every board for wide receivers. And then running backs kind of differ depending on if you want to throw Robinson in there, King Henry in there. If you're looking Austin Eckler being that high, I love the Nick Chubb pick. I had him in my top 5 list. So 4 running backs, yeah, because how many more teams in the NFL after this have a singular running back running one running back system?
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3, maybe.
Have a 3-down running back.
Yeah, it's very rare. I think a couple of them are going to come off the board in the second round. And then my last question before we get into round 2.
And you know who's missing off? Good sneak league.
I do.
I could sneak up on it.
From your team, your hot.
Not my hot take. Alvin Kamara.
Oh,
New Orleans Saints. If you remember 2 years ago, Alvin Kamara, he has been the number one before Christian McCaffrey jumped number 1. Alvin Kamara was the best running back in football phase.
Yeah, suspended the first 3 games.
Yep.
That's going to be.
But that helps. He's going to fall.
Yeah.
Who's going to leap on him?
Absolutely.
Who's going to spend early and go ahead and get Kamara? Right?
Should you ever take quarterback in round 1?
Patrick Mahomes.
Is that a different, hey, if you're going to pull the trigger now, pull it at 10 because it's a snake draft, you can afford to get him again?
Not really, but because it was I probably would have went. Let me look at the draft board again. Cheat sheet here. I probably, had it been my draft, I probably would have went like Bijan Robinson. I probably wouldn't have went Stephon Diggs yet. Devontae Adams could have been a pick that I made there.
Right.
I like Garoppolo in Las Vegas. I think Adams he's gonna perform well. He's just a great all-wide receiver. Don't think I would have gone Henry there. So because I am so iffy on Diggs and Henry, and iffy on Devontae Adams,
just pick what you know.
I went with Patrick Mahomes. Clear-cut number 1 quarterback.
Where do you think the first quarterback should go? Is it mid-second round? I mean, I know. Listen, I picked Josh Allen last year in the second round, and everybody was joking like, "Hey, you pulled the gun you pulled the trigger too early."
I think it depends on what you're going.
Right.
So if you look at if your first round, it depends on where you're drafting. If I'm drafting number 1, and that's like 20 picks, 19 picks to get another pick,
right,
and Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes is there at the end of the second round, I probably might take him. And I don't think that's too low. I feel really comfortable taking Patrick Mahomes in the 10th spot in this draft right now.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think I overshot Patrick Mahomes.
All right. You want to go ahead and let's start up round 2?
Yeah, and here's why. Here's why is because, of course, snake draft, Dak in the box. Now I told you earlier what I want to do. I'm either going to go with a stud running back or I'm going to go with 2 wide receivers. I'm going to go Bijan Robinson right here to pair with Patrick Mahomes. I think it's a solid running back 1. That I'm going to get a top 5 running back and the top quarterback. I love that pairing. That's what I did.
All right. So my team now, let's see who we have. Who did we select the first time?
So
I picked.
Yep. On this one.
All right. So I got Nick Chubb. So I have my running back. I'm going to go wide receiver. I'm going to go Stephon Diggs.
There you go, Stephon Diggs.
Absolutely.
I would have loved Nick Chubb's set with like Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I could have commanded the market on running back. It's probably a miss. I probably pulled the trigger again.
But that's me. But I have Saquon Barkley and Garoppolo now. And so I'm going to go ahead and draft King Henry to pair with Saquon Barkley. I got a solid 1-2 running back. I'll get wide receiver third round.
Okay, let's say I have Cooper Kupp, right? Yep. Zeke and Destroy. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff on here. I'm going to go, since it's Zeke and Destroy, let's go CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, good pick.
Let's go ahead.
Good pick. I like that pick. So, yeah, Zeke and Destroy. You got CeeDee Lamb, Cooper Kupp. That's a solid 1-2. Tyreek Hill. All right, so since I have Tyreek Hill, you know who I do like, and you see who's falling, right? Do we see what's coming up here?
We do.
There's a lot of wide receivers.
There are.
And so knowing that coming up, I'm going to go ahead and get a guy that I think is going to be great. I'm going to get Tony Pollard. I got a solid 1-1 wide receiver running.
All right, so listen, Travis Kelce, so it's going to be a little while. I can afford to push the stuff down. Scroll on down the board. We're going Josh Allen here.
Ooh, took Josh Allen.
Yes, we're going mid again.
Early. But I like it. I mean, Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, we'll see how it rounds up on. You're going to have,
They could lead. They could both lead the league in their category.
but
for
I'm really
points.
interested in what running backs, your receivers are going to be number 2 receivers, both of them starting.
Maybe there's still some number ones on.
We'll see. Garrett Wilson could slide if I don't pick him up.
You don't pick them right now. Yeah.
And so I'm actually going to go Devontae Adams here. He's fallen way too far. I'm going to go ahead and grab Devontae Adams to pair with Jamar Chase. You have Austin Eckler on Pennsylvania. Who do you want to pair Austin Eckler?
I think it's pretty simple here. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor in hopes that that's a dog crap team Colts and they just kind of ride Jonathan.
So you're going for the rebound.
I am.
So I have Christian McCaffrey. Okay, with this team. This is the number 2 pick team. I'm going to go ahead and run Garrett Wilson with Christian McCaffrey. Have a solid 1-1. And then you're going to finish up our 2-round draft real quick. We'll just go on 2 rounds. Justin Jefferson was the number 1 pick. If you have the number 1 pick and you're falling all the way down there, I think this would have been a great place to grab Josh Allen.
Right.
But it's already grabbed.
So you know
So you
where
have
we're
to
going to go.
change up where you got to go.
Listen, I don't have to go far because I'm going to go with a guy who's very similar. I'm going to go Jalen Hurts because I know that I can still pick again top of round 3. I could go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I could go running back Travis Etienne is probably a good pick there.
Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown stayed there because I refuse to pick a Philadelphia Eagle. So that's where we're at. So just follow up on this 2-round 10-man team. We're gonna go pick by pick real quick. Running 1-1, Justin Jefferson. 1-2, Christian McCaffrey. 1-3, Austin Eckler. 1-4, Jamar Chase. 1-5, Travis Kelce. That's your pick. You're owning that. 1-6, we went Tyreek Hill. 1-7, Cooper Kupp. 1-8, Saquon Barkley. 1-9, Nick Chubb. 1-10, Patrick Mahomes. That's solid.
The second round went as follows, right? 2-1, Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
2-2, Stephon Diggs. 2-3, Derrick Henry. 2-4, CeeDee Lamb. 2-5, Tony Pollard, versatile back. 2-6, Josh Allen, Superman himself. 2-7, Devontae Adams. 2-8, Jonathan Taylor. 2-9, your boy, Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
And the last pick in the second round was Jalen Hurts.
So I want to look at this really quick, right? We just went through this.
Yep.
I want to name a couple players that I have in my top 20 that we missed out on this time. Mark Andrews.
Yep.
Top 20, right? Travis Etienne.
I think Etienne could slip in. I almost see him. He could end up ahead of Taylor, Pollard, Henry.
Josh Jacobs, if he plays.
I mean, that's the same thing with him.
If he plays.
What quarterback would you go next? I mean, with Patrick, Josh, and Jalen off the board.
It's either with Jalen, it's Lamar, Fields, Burrow, Herbert,
Okay.
that.
No T. Law, Trevor Lawrence.
No, Trevor Lawrence is going to fall. I have him top 10.
If you can't get those quarterbacks, who's a quarterback you should target round 7 through 10?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what won me the league last
Yeah.
year. Because I waited on quarterback and I had a solid reason why.
Called your shot too.
And I did. I told you guys on draft night. I said, when you guys see what I'm going to do at wide receiver and quarterback, you're going to be like, oh, man, we really let him do that. You know what I picked? I
Went
picked
Jay
Kirk,
Jettis.
and I went Kirk Cousins.
Pair it up.
Late round Kirk Cousins.
And I think in round 2, after you picked Jay Jettis, you even said, don't let me get Kirk Cousins and pair him up.
Yeah.
Somebody better pick this man.
Don't let me, because I had a plan. If I could get Kirk in 7 or 8, right? If I get Kirk even lower than that, I think I ended up, I don't remember exactly where I'm driving.
You picked him round 10.
Yeah, it might have been 10. I got Kirk Cousins. And so what I was able to do is put performers around Jay Jettis.
Yeah.
And everybody else was scrambling for a quarterback. Herbert went early. Allen went early. Mahomes went early. You guys are wasting 2nd, 3rd, 4th round picks in this, right? So I waited, got Kirk Cousins. I knew if Justin Jefferson, if I'm projecting him at wide receiver 1,
right,
Kirk Cousins got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so somebody has to throw him the ball, and that happened to be Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So
And it actually won me the league.
yeah, based off these 2 rounds that you guys are looking at, let us know who you think would win this league. Let us know in the comments. Again, which of these 10 made-up teams that we started drafting for would be able to fill out their team and win the league.
I'm going to tell you my 2 favorite teams right now. My 2 favorite, as of right now, I like the Jamar Devontae team, and I like the Cup and CD. And I went wide receiver.
Yeah, I think my favorite team from this would be Justin Jefferson, Jalen Hurts, your team. just because I like the idea Justin Jefferson's going to be the number one.
McCaffrey and Wilson sneaky too.
Yes, I just think again you go Travis Etienne and then you try and fill out.
Yeah, I agree.
So I mean, listen, no matter what you guys are doing at home, again, join the league, do fantasy. It's always fun. Listen, next week we'll probably get into a little bit of college football.
Yes.
College football is right around the corner. So again, for Alex the Podfather Gullet, I'm Paul Teach Nelson, and with you we are 3 for 3.